Well, children love to talk. Now, this means that you need to make time to listen to them. Children love to sing nonsensical rhymes, fun words, imitate adults, and just about go ga 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 ga. So, you don't have to agree to all that they say, but you need to listen for sure. You need to be a great listener. So, clear away all distractions and make eye contact. In fact, look for non-verbal clues. Your child's verbal language, tone, posture, well, that'll give you a great insight into what and how the child is thinking and feeling. It'll help create a safe environment for the child to unwind and to just pour himself or herself out. And if you empathize, it will just help them see issues in a different perspective, in a different light. Turn your listening into a two-way dialogue or interaction. You can just bounce off some thoughts from what you're listening and just put the ball in their court. But your very act of listening to your child will help them be a better communicator. It will help your children to be emotionally literate, to be able to understand what they read and write. If you listen to them, remember, they will learn to listen to you. Children are born to move and play. It is so very rightfully said that play is to a child what flight is to a bird. Children learn by experiencing the world with all their senses. So we got to realize that learning is not all in the head. The body is a very, very powerful tool for learning, and it's not a roadblock or a hindrance. In fact, movement allows children to connect their body and brain. Now, the brain does not store its fuel, nor does it produce its own fuel. It depends on the body for its fuel. And what is fuel for the brain? Well, it's oxygen and glucose. So the more the body works, the more fuel the brain gets. That is why it's a good practice to have brain breaks. During periods of study, it's good to have short brain breaks. What are brain breaks? They are short physical activities which help students stay focused and attentive by increasing oxygen flow to the brain and re-energizing the body. For younger children, we can do action songs, stretching, yoga, maybe some jumping. And for the older kids, a quiz, a just a minute session, or some physical activity as a prelude to what you are teaching. And there is a nice research by the University of Kansas which states that when kids move to learn, they do much better academically in school. Children enjoy anything new. Well, that's because their interests change rapidly. Their focus span is very short and they can't be in one place for long. They love to move around. Their neurons are firing at such a rapid pace. So they need energy and movement and newness. So it's a good idea to introduce new books, new games, role play, rhymes and stories, and bring newness in whatever you do. Well, if you start a story the traditional way, just change it midway. If it's Cinderella and she has to find her slipper, well, just change it around. It's not Cinderella. Cinderella has found a slipper, but it's the prince who's lost his shoe. So what do we do now? You're doing the role play. Reverse the roles. Let the child be the mummy and you be the baby. You're doing games. You're playing a board game, a Ludo or a Scrabble. Change the rules. Who cares? Just switch around the roles, change some rules, and give a jerk to their routine patterned thinking now and then. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, time to clean up where you are. Right? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. If you see a crocodile, don't forget to scream. Just change their set patterns and thinkings now and then. Bring newness and see the neurons firing away to action. And this one is a good one. That children love to test behavioral boundaries. They will forever be checking how far they can go with you. They're always observing the adult. How much leeway can they get? How much can they twist your arm? So for this matter, rule number 1 is be firm and consistent. You don't need to be rude, but you can always sugarcoat your no. For every stubborn behavior, diversion works very well. Shift the focus to desirable behavior. I don't think it's a good idea to be sleeping very late. Offer choices. Okay, so it's milk in a green glass or a yellow glass. So practice limit setting. When we go out to grandma's place, it's going to be what? A burger or a pizza? One of them only. Because prevention is always better than cure. And it's always a proven fact that inwardly children crave for discipline. They crave for someone to tell them what to do and to validate them. Validate their moves, their thoughts, their gestures. Oh, you threw the ball very far and high. Good job. But make sure you don't hit anyone. That's the trick. Just do it quietly and silently for them. Do the limit setting and behavioral boundary setting very, very subtly. Storytelling, one of the best ways to teach children. There is no perfect age, in fact, to begin storytelling to children. It begins right in the womb. Now, till such time they can't speak, they listen to your stories. Then they start gurgling and cooing to you their own stories. And gradually, the power of speech and vocabulary enables them to turn the tables around. Then they become the storytellers and you the listener. Stories make facts very interesting. It helps children play with their imagination. It helps them to be emotionally literate, meaning help them understand what they're reading and writing. If they can speak it out in the form of a story, well, they've learned it forever. So a story need not have morals, you can just do it for fun too. So just make sure that you have a beginning, a middle and an end. So you build up the hype, introduce a conflict and bring about a resolution. Use different props, whatever you have available, like a puppet, a scarf, a glove, a hanky, a face mask or whatever. And even your own self, you can use your own self as a wonderful prop. Your voice modulation is another very powerful prop. So just build up the excitement, bring it down and leave them craving for more. And yes, it's possible to nurture a storyteller in every child. Tell them 1,000,000 stories and they will surely turn around and give you 1,000,000,000 more.